Today we are back with my 2023 Chevrolet Camaro SS1LE and the 2024 Ford Mustang GT Premium, which you may remember from a first impressions video we filmed not long ago. I'm here with Substitute Topher, and we're going to be driving these two American muscle/pony cars down to Louisville, Kentucky. I'm going to be in my Camaro. Chris is going to be in his Mustang. Well, not his, Ford's Mustang.
It's mine right now.
It's ours for the week, yep. And we're going to be doing some road trip driving impressions. So there's going to be a fuel economy off. So you get the best fuel economy. We're driving some back roads. We're meeting up with Tedward, and we're also driving the new Ford Expedition, but that's not part of this video. This video is all about these two cars and which is best. Just going to cut to the chase. Camaro's best, Mustang not best, because this fully loaded costs what this starts at. About $51,000. Yep. And the Camaro has so many features in this 2SS form, and the Mustang has fewer features. And this is $64,000?
Yes.
As tested. Okay, so we've got the performance package, we've got the Brembo brakes. Camaro also has Brembo brakes, look at that. 20-inch wheels, 305s in the rear, 19-inch wheels, 275s in the rear. Pirellis, Goodyears, Riverside Blue.
Yellow Splash.
Yellow Splash, okay. The Mustang, this is a one-year only color. They discontinued this color for the 2025 model year. For the 2025 model year, Chevrolet discontinued the entire car. So I guess that's where we stand. I wish Ford would give us a manual current model year Mustang, but this is all they had in their fleet.
Neither of us have ever driven a manual S650.
Yeah.
And we've also never driven a 2025. All of them have been 24 10-speed automatics, all three of them.
Okay, well, you guys already have my driving impressions from this Mustang GT. I will expand on those a little bit, how it's relative to the road trip. Chris here has a bigger trunk opening.
Normally, you know, like on traditional like Top Gear stuff where it's like, my car's best, no, my car's best, but I kind of prefer the Camaro.
Yeah, I'm very, very biased because I bought it. In contrast, we have the Camaro's trunk, which is a small opening. It barely accommodated this full-size spare winter tire because we don't have a spare tire. We're driving hundreds of miles without them. You'll probably just, if you get a flat, we'll just leave it on the side of the road. This will be okay. Both have active exhausts. The Camaro has a long, deep trunk with a smallish opening. Anyway, I can fit everything I need in the Camaro. I even have my son's car seat in the back. There we go. Look at that. Easy to fold forward. Oh, and thank you for the banana bread from Emily.
I was going to ask where you stored that.
Yeah, it's back there within easy reach. 455 horsepower from a 6.2 liter V8. We have a 5-liter V8 in the Mustang, making 480. Is it 486 or 44?
Yeah, well, it's 480, but this has the
performance
valve
exhaust.
so you get 6 extra horsepower and 3 extra pound-feet of torque.
I left that out in my initial review, but I fixed it in the description. So, you know, a little bit more horsepower in the Mustang, a little bit less torque. This is only what
418 pound.
418. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I knew the non-performance exhaust numbers, but not the performance exhaust numbers. We have recaro seats in the Mustang. Look at these. They're very tightly bolstered, but they are not heated or ventilated.
But it does have a heated steering wheel.
Yeah, which is great.
I mean, it's
the perfect level of heating.
It's just weird.
And, you know, these cars are not apples to apples as a comparison, but the Camaro also has recaro seats, and these are heated and ventilated. Joy of joys. The thing about the Camaro is that this is just so many great features. It has a digital rear view mirror, wireless CarPlay. Both vehicles don't have adaptive cruise control, mostly because GM doesn't know how to make adaptive cruise control with a manual, but Ford does with an automatic, and it's not standard in a $52,000 car. What the heck? And the Mustang's always had great adaptive cruise. It's always worked really well. Yeah. So I don't know. Let's pop the hoods.
You're making it sound like we're both going to be suffering today.
There's going to be a little bit of suffering. There's a lot of tire noise here, at least from the Camaro. I'm excited to see what type of fuel economy this gets, though. This car has 20,000 miles on it. I don't even know fuel economy ratings on this. I assume it'll get mid to high 20s on the highway. That's rated for 26 on the highway, or 24 on the highway, 16 in the city. Okay, cool. Both engine bays look fantastic. They look like proper engines. They're not just covered in plastic. I think we should go.
We should go. We should.
We have a lot of driving to
We
do
have about
today.
6 hours of driving ahead of us.
Okay.
Should probably get on the road.
All right. We're gonna go through Indianapolis instead of Cincinnati.
Yep. Just give me a minute to get my nav set and stuff, and should be good.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, just give me a minute to recover from the sticker shock of the Mustang
Oh,
and the value proposition of the Camaro SS1 LE.
all right.
Oh, also this has a Bose sound system, and the Mustang does not. Gotta love the sound of two American V8s idling. I just washed the car, so I'm not gonna roll down the window and ruin my window with streaking, but let's connect CarPlay here. It's already connected wirelessly. We are going to the Omni Louisville Hotel. And it says it is 5 hours and 20 minutes away, but we're gonna make that a little bit longer by going through Indianapolis, which is my preferred way. Yeah, only a 12-minute difference there. Okay, let's do it. We're gonna reset our trip A and see what type of fuel economy we get. Oh, Chris is still fiddling around at his infotainment screen trying to figure out how to reset the trip, which takes a minute. I know all of you are going to ask. I'm not sure what this phone mount is called, but the link is in the description. Ultimately, I think the Mustang's probably going to be a little bit more comfortable on this road trip, and this will be a little bit louder. But the mag ride in this Camaro is actually a little bit softer than in the Mustang. So I think the suspension here is a bit more tuned to comfort in normal mode. Track mode, things stiffen up like crazy. The Mustang is just full of screens. The Camaro still has physical controls and buttons, which we love to see. We have a heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated seats. Those are going to come in handy on those warmer days down in Kentucky. Vents that just aim right at the right places, the shifter, your hands. And of course, we have paddle shifters here because you can turn on auto rev matching. Visibility in the Camaro, not as good. However, really the only time I don't like the visibility in this car is when I'm in heavy traffic, driving around town, navigating tighter environments. Out on the open road, it's just fine. You get used to it. The visibility with this digital rearview mirror is fantastic, much better than what you see with your naked eye out the back. And I've actually opted not to put my little tiny fisheye lenses on this car, though I do on most of my vehicles, just because one, these mirrors are so tiny, and two, because I already get pretty good visibility from this, and if I can position my mirrors properly, that gives me pretty much all the sight line that I need out of this Camaro. And also, it's a coupe, it's a two-door, so we've got this huge window with this massive door that we can see in our blind spots. All right, let's set off. We're gonna fill up and do an at the pump calculation with our fuel economy. So we're both gonna fill up, and then the next time we fill up, we'll see how much gas each car has burned and calculate from there to see which vehicle got the best fuel economy. For now though, we'll just look at our trip A until we fill up and go from there. Everything's flying around the interior. Tires are cold, brakes are cold. Excellent steering feel in the Camaro. Much better than the pretty numb rack you get in the Mustang until you reach the limits. And one of the best manual gearboxes in the business. All right, we're gonna set cruise control. About 77 miles an hour. Cruise here at about 1800 RPM. Road noise isn't too bad on these Goodyear Eagle Supercar 3 tires. At some speeds it gets a little bit drony, but those are usually at lower speeds. We're also on concrete right now. We'll switch over here to asphalt in a second, and you'll be able to hear the difference in road tire noise. This is my first road trip with this car. This is kind of where this Camaro SS 1LE has lived its entire life. It's been a highway car. It's got 20,000 highway miles on it. My buddy Mike, who I bought this from, pretty much just drove this to Lansing an hour every day for a year. Put a bunch of miles on it. Didn't see any track time. So we're gonna get some road trip driving impressions. I feel like as a GT long distance car, this is just gonna be fantastic. We have the wider tires on here, 285/30 R20s in the front and 305/30 R20s in the rear. So we might see a little bit of tram lining depending on the road conditions. I'm sure once we get out of Michigan, that won't be a problem. I have noticed that if I put my steering in sport mode and it weights up the rack a little bit, it reduces some of that tram lining. It's actually the first time putting steering in sport mode has really done anything in any car for me. But I've kept it in sport mode. It's a little bit weightier around town, but it seems to reduce some of that back and forth wandering around in the lines or in the dips in the road.
Yes, sir.
Christopher, how is that Mustang?
Well, it finally stopped shifting, so
good.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that 10-speed kind of acts like a CVT sometimes, doesn't it?
It does. Yes, a bit.
Okay.
Usually I get roasted in the comments when I call it a CVT, but it is kind of the reality of things.
Yeah, it is so much better than the S550's 10-speed was, at least in my experience. But yeah, it does shift a lot. You have to use the paddle shifters like a ridiculous amount.
We do have paddles at least.
Yeah, at least we do have paddles.
You know what? I'm really happy with it currently though, because I just discovered that it has a 99-01 Cobra gauge cluster setting.
That is the best gauge cluster. I think that might be my favorite digital gauge cluster ever.
It's fantastic because obviously it's only a screen, but you can at least fake that it's analog.
Yeah.
And it looks quite good. You can do a Fox body one, or you can even do a 67 to 68 Mustang.
That is, Ford absolutely nailed it with those gauge clusters.
Yeah, they really did. I had to back off after the entrance ramp because you were flinging rocks at me with those sticky tires.
Oh yeah, it's an anti-tailgating feature.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was fully engaged. It's like your James Bond feature of that car.
Yep. No, it's good. That's why I have those mud flaps on that are oversized, because they would otherwise just destroy my paint.
Well, we're good right now.
Okay, good.
We're good. We're good now. You're not flinging anything at me.
All right. Always something to consider though when you're following a car with sticky tires.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, we're just gonna cruise here for a little bit. We'll pick up with you guys a little bit later. I am comfortable. It's quiet in here. I'm gonna turn on the radio, listen to some music, maybe a podcast, and we'll catch up with you guys later on when we fill up with some fuel, and we'll see what the readout says then. So we'll see what we end up with from church parking lot to the Omni Hotel, and what we do when we fill up a full tank at the station and how much we burn and all that stuff. We'll do all that calculation compared to the Mustang a little bit later. We're 100 miles in. I've been listening to lots of wonderful copyrighted music with this Bose sound system in the Camaro SS 1LE. I've missed going on a road trip. There's just something cathartic, therapeutic, relaxing, meditative about just driving for a long distance. We're in a rather pretty section of Ohio right now. Very open, big landscapes, completely flat, all mowed down by the glaciers about 11,000 years ago. And it's just very nice. I'm getting 25.3 miles to the gallon. I called Tedward on the phone. He could hear me over these tires. I talked to Chris behind me. All right, pulling in to our first fuel stop here. I am still at a decent fuel level, about half a tank exactly. Average fuel economy is reading 25.7 mpg with an average speed of 72 miles per hour over the last 131 miles. And that included a couple full throttle runs. So take that all into context. We're gonna fill all the way up. Love the capless filler in this Camaro. 93. I put some wheel locks on this. These are actually from the Type R, but they look a little funny because they're meant to stick into the stock Type R wheels, but it's okay, they work. They'll keep the wheels from being stolen in the parking structure that we're parking in Louisville. Let's go be nosy and bother Chris here. No calculations to be made yet, Christopher.
Not yet. I have to pee though. That's my current calculation.
Okay.
I hope this gas station.
Fluids in, fluids out. That's how it goes. Oh, I just clicked. All right, so half a tank, 9 gallons at $4.29 a gallon. Always remember to shake. All right. I guess I won't take my camera into the bathroom. Sometimes I forget that I'm wearing it on my head. So what are your initial thoughts on the Mustang?
It's pretty cozy. I wish there were lumbar adjustments on the recaros, unless I'm dumb and can't find it.
Do you find the driving position to be a little bit too high?
Not really. I think driving position's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought the
I'm okay
Recaro
with it.
sat a little bit high. Like I'm sitting down low in the Camaro.
Oh yeah.
I could go lower.
Yeah.
In my Recaros.
Yeah. Well, I can see out of this car a little bit better, I think, than the Camaro. But the Camaro gets a camera mirror, so.
Yeah. No, the visibility is better in the Mustang.
Yeah.
You feel higher up, more of a panorama.
Yeah.
Yep. I am always just shocked at how comfortable and just livable the Camaro is.
Yeah.
It's so nice. It's just such a nice luxury car almost in some ways.
No, this is the same way. I mean, when I took that EcoBoost to Chicago, it kind of set the stage, and this feels just about the same. I mean, it's comfortable. The Magnerite dampers do a great job, and the exhaust and quiet mode is just great. It's quiet on the highway. The bass sound system it's mid. I mean, it could be better, but it's a bass sound system.
Sure.
I'm not too mad at it for that. I wish there were some more standard features, but I'm fine so far. I'm really good.
It's comfy cozy.
It's comfy, in it.
Yeah. In it.
In it.
All right, carry on.
Carry on. I'll follow you.
Okay.
Try not to get rock chips.
Sounds good. We have reset our trip. New tank, we'll see what we get with fuel economy. We're gonna set the cruise control and carry on. We've got about 3 hours, 41 minutes left. We're gonna get there around 7:45, a little bit late for dinner, but we'll catch up with Tedward once we get there because we're both on the same wave tomorrow for Expedition. We're back. It's been 237 miles since our fill-up. The Camaro has averaged, according to the readout, 25 miles to the gallon. That's with an average speed of 72 miles per hour. Mustang only has a 16-gallon tank. I believe this is a 20-gallon tank. It's a good-sized tank, so I still have 196 miles till empty. Chris is at about 120 miles to empty. I like the fuel range in this Camaro SS. Road noise, largely dependent on pavement surface. Actually, entirely dependent on pavement surface. Right now, virtually no tire noise at all. It's completely silent, which is fantastic. On concrete, it gets really, really loud. So, you know, take that with what you will. It varies throughout the trip, but there are some points where it is very, very loud in here. Like, you couldn't even hold a phone conversation loud. Otherwise, really comfortable recaros. They have a little bit less aggressive bolstering than in the Mustang, and I think they'd be a bit more comfortable on a long journey. I'll see how Chris is. He seemed to be okay, but I think he was wanting for some more lumbar adjustment on his seats. Do I have lumbar adjustment? I don't. I also don't really use lumbar adjustment, so neither of us have lumbar adjustment with our recaros. Otherwise, Camaro's been fantastic. Haven't hit any fun roads at all. We did hit a couple entrance-exit ramps, accelerating away from those entrance-exit ramps. It seemed like the Camaro kind of gets the jump on the Mustang, just better throttle response. It's not an automatic transmission, doesn't have to downshift a bunch, but then the Mustang seems to kind of start to catch up as that horsepower and close ratio transmission come into play. We're not going to fill up today. We're going to wait until we actually need gas in these cars. So we will hold off until our trip out of Louisville into Lexington to put some fuel in these and see what their fuel economy is. But for now, we're sitting at 25 miles to the gallon, which is a great place to be in a 455 horsepower Camaro. We've been driving anywhere between 70 to 80 miles an hour. We hit a little bit of traffic, seeing some lower speeds there, but for the most part, average speed, 72 miles per hour. That's a pretty good fuel economy number. All right, we're gonna head to the hotel. We'll catch you guys there or maybe slightly after. We're gonna go see Tedward, have dinner, probably just relax a little bit, and yeah, we'll see you guys soon. All right, we've arrived. We're at the Omni. Cars are looking great. Have you ever seen two such fine automobiles? Chris, how was the Mustang?
It's great. You know,
Yeah.
I've driven the EcoBoost and I've driven the Dark Horse. Okay, I think that's my favorite.
Really?
I think it strikes a really nice balance as far as like living with it goes.
It just does everything really
I don't
well.
feel like I'm lugging it around like I did the Dark Horse, and I'm not cringing every time I step on the accelerator like I was in the EcoBoost.
It has the fewest interior rattles.
Yeah, nothing rattles except the seatbelt on the leather squeaks a little.
That's right. Yeah, it is a little squeaky.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep. No, it looks so good on the road too.
And it looks so good that they're parking it out in front of the hotel.
Why not? Yeah. Why wouldn't they? No,
I might have jinxed it.
it's a good-looking Mustang. Yep. I love the Camaro even more now after living with it.
You? Great.
Yeah, it's just so good. We're going to the castle, the Louisville Castle. No, the Lexington Castle.
The Kentucky Castle.
The Kentucky Castle.
We're all three piled into the Mustang.
Oh yeah, Tedward's back there too. Hey, looking very dapper.
Oh.
I've like grown up driving down whatever this is, Highway 60, looking at this castle, wondering what's in it. Can I go to it? It was privately owned for a long time, and now you can go eat at it. In it. Eat in it.
You can eat it.
You don't eat it. Eat it up. It's made of brick and mortar. Hopes, dreams. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. Look at it.
It's a castle.
It's a freaking castle in Kentucky.
Castle.
Appropriately named. It's got turrets. No moat.
I wonder if Mason and Drew have ever been here. Maybe they don't live too far.
We'll ask them. Anyway, it's like 1.7 miles from our Airbnb, so it's really close.
Yeah, 5-minute drive.
Yeah.
Don't tell them.
There we are, the Kentucky Castle.
Wow.
Look at that.
Where do we park?
Oh, around this cloud, go around.
Go left.
Forest.
Bloody tourists.
He's got a nice Stetson.
Hotel
Tremor.
parking. Let's go that way.
I don't know.
straight.
Oh, straight? Okay, good. Yeah, let's go on the entrance gates. This is wonderful.
Wow. Okay, I'm just gonna loop around here and go back. Oh man, let me get a picture of the car here.
Here's the traffic. Here's the castle.
Oh, you're just a baby. You're just a little babe. Oh, come to me. Yes.
Oh,
These are my goats. Oh, hello. Look at you. Oh my goodness, you are a sweet one. Yeah, your horns are just coming in, and you're just a little babe with your little waggly tail and your sweet little eyes. Oh my goodness. Oh, what do you think? You having a good day? It's a nice day out for you. Yeah, you having a good time? What a sweet guy. What a sweet guy. I know, I'm sorry, I don't have any treats for you.
All right, so we're back in the Camaro. We've done the thing with the Ford Expedition. Tedward's here.
Hi.
Picked up another YouTuber.
Just wandering around Louisville.
Chris is over there in the Mustang. We just did his calculation. For some reason, it filled up 10 gallons in his tank, whereas it put 12.8 in my tank. So it didn't quite fill up the Mustang tank all the way. So we had to do it again. And he got roughly 23.1 miles to the gallon in the Mustang. I got 22.92 in the Camaro. So virtually the same 23 mpg. The gallons aren't exact because his got kind of messed up, but let's just call them both at 23 mpg. That's even. Premium fuel, over 294.2 miles. Not bad. The readout in this is a little bit ambitious, which is normal. All right, we're gonna reset our trip A here. I love this. Mike never reset the trip in his ownership. So
Trip B
since
is the same.
brand new, it's the same as the odometer, 21,072. In the car's life, it's averaged 20.7 miles to the gallon with an average speed of 54 miles an hour.
Nice.
How dope is that? Fuel range, 421 miles on full. Cool. Let's see what happens. We're definitely on the Bourbon Trail right now. We're going to pass near Woodford Reserve. We're going to go by Wild Turkey. We just went by...
Bullet was only 4 miles the other direction.
There you go. Yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff out here. Are you Camp Auto Rev Match in the Type R, or do you do it yourself?
I oddly am Camp Auto Rev Match.
I'm so back and forth. That's why I like how I can just turn it off in this. On and off super fast.
In a car, it's Camp do it myself.
Yeah.
But in turbo cars, it always just kind of trip me up a little bit that I just get annoyed.
It's tricky to get right.
Like, even if I'm getting it right, sometimes I'm like, why am I doing this? It does it so well, and it's like I don't feel neutered at all by it doing it itself.
The only reason I don't like it is I feel like sometimes it messes me up in my cars that don't have it. Like my skills slip. You know.
I agree.
The thing about the Camaro is that there's just so much torque. You don't really need to wring this engine out to get power out of it. It's just so unbothered.
They're so frustrating to drive on camera because you'll be cooking.
Yeah.
But it looks like you're just cruising around because like you never used more than 3,500 revs.
Exactly.
And it's like, dude, you don't understand.
Let's see what wind buffeting's like compared to the Supra. We're at 45 miles an hour. In the Supra, this would be deafening.
Intolerable in a Supra.
Intolerable. 55 miles an hour. I think we're going to be just fine on a track day. Lovely. As a GT car, man, this is so much fun. It's comfortable, it's just so good at covering distance.
Great side bolsters too.
Yeah, the seats are nice. I like these recaros a lot. Mustang gives you a little bit more of a squeeze. They're tighter. About to cross the Kentucky River here. Not a single lane bridge.
Felt just like Pittsburgh when you go up to Mount Washington.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I've been here.
A little bit of deja vu kicks in. This thing's a little too fast to enjoy fully on the road. I think that's ultimately like going to be my takeaway from owning this car. Is the Type R you can enjoy bringing it out at speed. I don't know about now with the tune, but because it's even faster. But this, it's really hard to push the limits on the street with this car. That's why we got to take it to the racetrack. It's the next day. We woke up, just started driving. We didn't have breakfast. We didn't include you guys in any B-roll. It's been a boring morning. We're just trying to get home before it starts raining. We're gonna go to Barrio in Plymouth and have some Mexican food.
Gotta have those flautas, baby.
Gonna have some flautas and maybe some nachos.
Spicy margarita.
Yeah, why not?
A lovely day.
It's been wonderful. This is Tom's first couple minutes behind the wheel of the Camaro. Gotta put you on the spot.
So, first things first is the visibility out of this is intimidating, and I'm glad I got some like hours of passenger time in this to adapt to this cabin in this greenhouse, because it is intimidating to get in and think like, oh, I have to see out of this thing.
You're in this car.
You're in it, like everything's above you. It is very strange. So, you know, for me, especially coming from a world of like Porsches and vintage cars where like the windows start like, you know, mid-torso basically.
Yeah.
You're like, you know, this is a very different experience, but you know, getting in it now, I'm like, all right, I'm totally comfortable, I'm fine, I understand where things are. And then the rest of it, it just kind of feels very CT5V Blackwing-ish in terms of its connection points, all the things that... And it makes some of best noises that an automobile can make. And it makes me feel like I maybe missed out a little bit on some American muscle in my BMW days, where I was really committed to like 8,000 RPM. Who needs that? You don't need 8,000 revs. You need a pushrod V8. And this is okay. I mean, look, I'm not saying those aren't great, but this is really cool. Should not be overlooked. And torque is amazing.
In sixth, nobody's home, but that's okay. You can quick downshift into fifth or fourth, and you're off.
All I'm saying is, in sixth gear at like under 2,000 RPM at like 80 miles an hour, I can still.
You still pass people.
Lean on it and pass people. This is this is why DCT was such a great thing in my M3, was because I'd have to dump 3 gears to make any moves.
Yep. We just filled up. Wasn't a full tank, it was about half a tank. Calculated at the pump, again, 23 miles to the gallon. So 23 and 23. I think it wasn't a completely accurate comparison to the Mustang, because the Mustang drove us to the castle last night, which was a few miles.
Such a cool spot.
So I think he put another half gallon in, and of course we idled at that stoplight for like 10 minutes. So anyway, you can't really compare, but both cars get 23 miles to the gallon on a road trip, driving at speed with the flow of traffic, maybe a few passes here and there, a few full throttle runs. I feel like we actually drove a little bit harder on this half tank than we did the first tank, and we averaged the same. So maybe no matter what you do, it's 23. That's pretty good.
And also, 23 miles per gallon, if they're the same, this still has 1.2 liters greater capacity in displacement than
That's right.
than that Mustang. So
Yeah.
it's probably working a little less hard, but still, even when you're on it, it's not gulping much more.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're out here in Ohio with a sea of left lane hogs, and like, you don't need the revs,
But it's nice to let them know how you feel,
it's just
because they can hear you.
I like it a lot.
All that pent-up frustration after just sitting behind them is let loose with some V8 American muscle sounds.
This car will make any pacifist a violent person.
Yeah.
Like, this is.
Oh, it sounds so good.
I love it when it's just that mid-range, like high load feeling. Like, it's such a great sound.
Yeah, it really does make all the right noises.
And it has great brakes.
It does. That's important. We had fun yesterday on some like higher speed, flowy back roads. Didn't really find a good road to drive these cars on this trip. It's just, traffic was kind of heavy when we got into Lexington and went from Louisville to Lexington. It was just later in the day, and we weren't trying to bomb down some one-lane roads
It's
at
really
rush
tricky.
hour.
To find the right roads for cars like this is really hard, because they have such high limits. And so on a racetrack with those sweeping corners, it would have been a very fast racetrack. It would have been triple-digit speeds. There's just not things you can do with self-respect.
Yeah.
Car, like, you're gonna end up going too fast. And look, we saw a lot of animals, we saw a lot of dogs, we saw a lot of people mowing their lawns.
And I have a wife and 2 kids now, so I'm not sending it anymore.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, I just know that I would have a good bit of shame if something happened just because I needed to be closer to the tire limits of a car on a road that I really shouldn't have been exploring. Whereas this is why roads like, let's say, the Tail of the Dragon are so good. It's because you can have a lot more fun at 45 miles an hour.
Sure.
Like, if you wreck a car at 45 miles an hour, you're walking away from it, whatever you hit, maybe you can even stop and avoid the thing. But we've got to be respectful of the drive, as I say.
Absolutely.
And part of that is making sure that we're not just going ham on roads that really don't warrant it.
Also, this Camaro is wide. I'm used to driving Kentucky roads in Miatas, in an S2000, in a BRZ, in my Civic Type R. And those are significantly narrower. You can actually, in a Miata, on some of these Kentucky roads, you can take a line. There's an apex. In the Mustang and Camaro, there's no apex. There's just staying on the road and not hitting oncoming traffic.
It's a train track.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
just,
half your 285 width tire will dip off the road every now and then, and that's all the flexibility you have, you know?
there's no shoulders either. So
Yeah.
like the white line is painting a cliff. Like it's just there's nothing. That's how the Tail of the Dragon is too. Where I'm just like, it's like you can't really push a wide car here, because if you even understeer 3 inches,
Yeah, you're off.
it's too late.
You're right in the rumble strip, so you're between like not the rumble strips and the rumble strips. So in that sense, it might be a little bit more fun to drive the Civic Type R on some Kentucky back roads.
These seats are so comfy, but they're not too constricting. I've got great side bolsters for when we were out on some windy roads, but I'm not feeling like, I hate it when you get in a car that, great, it does the job on a windy road, but then you're road tripping and your ribs are basically bruised.
Yeah.
Just from sitting in it.
I wonder how Chris is doing in the Mustang, because those bolsters on those recars, they are tight. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty skinny dude, and I always get squeezed a little bit.
I'm often shocked at how constricted I am in a vehicle, because I'm like, oh, if I'm constricted, like, there's no hope for America. Like, there's just, that's not happening.
With your
Also,
12% body fat.
we're getting it lower. It's almost summer. But there's no adjustable lumbar support as far as I can tell. In
No.
the seats, and like they're nice.
Yeah, they feel good.
This is the static suspension of a seat where like I don't need 18-way adjustables. Just make a good seat. I feel high up enough in the cabin on a road trip. Like I don't feel like I'm in this like tiny low sports car going past a tractor trailer. Like I actually feel like I've got a decent view of the road, which is wild because I did not necessarily feel like that yesterday. On the back roads, I felt like every time we were cresting a hill, I was kind of doing this.
Sure, yeah.
You're like, whoa, that hood's pretty long, and suddenly you're like, I don't really know what's on the other side of this.
But yeah, Camrys and Impalas and Accords, they're not like towering over us like they would be in a BRZ or a Miata or something. No, it's a good car, and you know, this seat goes up more. I like a little bit of a higher driving position sometimes in this car, depending on the situation, because it is nice to be able to kind of see over that hood and see over the steering wheel a little bit easier, because you just sit so low.
And contrary to the plasticky cheapness that looks like this dashboard, this gauge cluster, A+.
It's good, yeah.
I love it. Yep. Super visible, easy to see. Everything's like charming to look at too, which is nice. And it has a screen where you want a screen and nothing else, really. Like I like having a proper tack and speedo and all that good stuff.
Over a lot of miles, the steering is a little bit, I don't know, it just requires a little bit of effort and thought to go into just keeping this straight, because you are tramlining, because you have wide tires.
285s up front, Are you kidding me?
And even in tour, I put it back into tour mode because I was like, is sport kind of getting rid of some of the tramlining? Yes, but you still need a little bit of extra effort in sport. So I think tour is kind of still the sweet spot on good roads. And Michigan's roads where everything's just messed up, for saying it nicely.
Yeah, that's a very kind take on the Michigan roads.
Yeah, sport might be better because it does reduce some of that tramlining. But I don't know. I just feel like I am putting a little bit more effort into the steering into this. It's not like, you know, just a super light rack where you can just kind of rest your hand on the wheel. You got to kind of put some effort into keeping the car straight.
The Honda's a bit easier, but then again, I've been putting so many miles on the highway on my GX460. That car takes so much work to keep driving.
Yeah.
Like, this might as well be level 2 autonomous.
It's nice. It's a great steering rack. It's actually one of the few vehicles that was made recently that has steering feel.
This car is so balanced in terms of power, brakes, handling. And it's funny because I think the power, oddly enough, is like the weakest link of the three. Like, which is a good thing. That means it's like a proper sports car where like, you don't want a car to be overpowered. Overpowered is a bad thing. It's great to have a lot of power, but overpowered means that like the car's not keeping up. And I like this because it's like, well, these brakes are psychotic. The suspension is incredible. The mechanical grip is incredible. I would prefer that the weakest thing on this car is its straight line agility and speed. And that is exactly where we're at here. Where like, I know that all of the other things can exceed what its powertrain can do. That's incredible. Yeah,
you're not going to overpower these tires unless if you like skip over a bump or something and, you know, kick it sideways or whatever. But no, it's true. You still have to work to get this to make power. You have to work to get it up to like 2,500 RPM.
I like that.
Whatever it takes.
25,
Yeah, because there's just so much freaking torque. But yeah, it's good.
It's
good.
really good.
Cruise control has been nice, but I do have a complaint that there's no cancel button. It's either the system on, system off.
No.
The cancel button is the brake pedal, which sometimes you don't want to have to reach over and press.
Yeah.
So I found myself not really using cruise control as much in this Camaro as I normally would on a road trip. That said, the throttle tuning is so linear and easy to just maintain a good speed. I don't feel like I'm having to like hold back on how fast I'm driving. I can comfortably maintain a good like legal speed in this without, you know, having to like pull back all the time. So that's nice.
The other thing about this is like, we were talking about how when this came out, people were saying, oh, they're heavy and this and that, but it does a good job with two things. One, torque does a great job of like masking weight of a sports car. And two, it's got this really wide track. And this is two things that E90 and E92 M3s do not have. They're not very wide, especially the front track. Feels like it needs to have a bigger footprint.
Yep.
And they don't have much torque. So it's one of those things where E92, under like aggressive circumstances, can start to feel like a very heavy car.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because you're a little bit understeer prone. This, even with the staggered setup, like, I don't know, you're not going to understeer that much in this car. It would be nice to have square setup, but that's really only for hardcore trackers.
Sure, but honestly, even with the 285 up front, they're poking a little bit. So
they are, yeah.
You start playing that 305 game up front, it's going to get a little interesting.
Yep. No, I feel like this car looks like how an autocrosser would just set up his Camaro. Except they sell it from the factory, which is ridiculous.
It has the Porsche 992 problem with the T-Rex arms.
Oh yeah,
to operate
there's a little
these
bit of
things.
that.
It's actually not as bad because I'm pretty sure 992's back here.
Yep.
Aston Martin does this as well on DBX. It drives me out of my mind. So, but ergonomically, like this car, things are fine. Like things do match. This is the strangest thing.
It's so weird, but it's kind of cool at the same time.
Yeah, it took me a minute this morning. I had my cup of coffee and I still wasn't like caffeinated enough to understand why can't I. I'm like,
how do I do this?
I was going like this, and I like love that I can tell you're a dad because you let me figure it out. You didn't correct me. You were just like, he'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, connectivity's been fine. We got wireless CarPlay. We got.
You could use door pockets, but whatever.
Yeah, there are no door pockets.
I'm a big door pocket guy. I love a door pocket.
No, this is this and the S2000 are the only cars I've owned that don't have door pockets. And, yeah, you kind of miss them. There's a really good place to put your water bottle, but the rear seats are so close that you could just kind of shove it back there, and it's fine.
Those rear seats, other than the child in the baby seat, it's a parcel shelf.
Yeah,
you're not really putting people back there.
Like we all crammed into the Mustang last night to drive a mile to the castle, and that was fine.
It was about as much backseat Mustang time as I wanted.
Sure. Yep. Cool. All right. Well, this video's been long enough, but we had a great time. We might debrief with Chris about the Mustang, but I think we've also said everything we need to about that. I'm shocked that is $20,000 more than what this cost. Granted, brand new, this was maybe a $52,000 car. Maybe at the time there was some markup, maybe there wasn't. Mike bought this, I think he bought this for like 44 grand with GM employee pricing and discounts and stuff. He had family members who gave him a discount. That's a pretty common thing in the Metro Detroit area. A lot of people work for Chevrolet. That's not impossible to get your hands on. And in the last year that they were selling these things, a lot of people were getting their discounts on it. And 2 years later, the Mustang is coming out with not even an equivalent package that's $20,000 more expensive. That's just insane. So I don't know. I know that Ford is the last muscle car with a V8 left in the game right now, for now, but I feel like they are charging a little bit too much money for that car, which is basically the same as the S550 with a few extra screens, a different bumper, and some fresh paint.
And while I recognize this is very subjective and partisan, I really prefer the sound of this Camaro to that Mustang. That Mustangs always have kind of like a hollow sound, like it's being piped through a big empty tube. That's how I've always kind of thought of them.
That's true. That's a good way to put it. I think the Mustang sounds fantastic. They both sound fantastic.
It does, but this sounds more.
It rips. It's raw.
It's raw.
Yeah, it's angry.
It doesn't feel as curated, even though I'm sure it is. Just the sound feels more like authentic, and like that's what a car sounds like. Whereas that one, it feels like a lot of energy went into making that sound.
Sure. Yep. Yeah, the valve, also the NPP valve exhaust is just awesome. I know people like to make these insanely loud, but I don't know why you would want anything else than what's on this car, because it's perfect. It's literally one of my favorite factory exhausts, if not my favorite factory exhaust that I've ever driven on or owned. It's just great. It's loud when you want it to be. It's raucous. I could do without the pops. That's a tuning thing. But and then it's completely silent when you want it to shut up. It's great. Okay, well, it's been a fun trip. Thanks for joining us. Go check out Tedward's videos on whatever he reviews while he's in Michigan.
Yeah, we'll drive some fun toys.
Yeah, what do you want to just like chill out and watch Bob Burgers and eat food, or do you want to like drive a couple things? I'd love for you to review the Type R.
Yep.
You should review this.
I feel like if I do this, the Type R, Chris's 04 Honda Civic Hybrid, and if that ND3 Miata,
sure.
You know, those.
Why not?
That'd be like a solid. Look at this Hawk, man, dude. I just love a road trip. I love seeing weird stuff on the highway. I love all of it.
I know. I haven't gone on a road trip in a long time. It's been about a year since I think Tom and I went down to Kentucky and we took the Type R. Maybe a little bit longer than a year. It's been a while.
I think I'm so destination driven sometimes that I forget to enjoy the journey. And every time I have to drive somewhere that's like 5, 6, 7 hours away, I realize like how much I value just hanging in there on a long drive.
I've really enjoyed the journey in this Camaro. It's been a lot of fun. I was a little nervous to bring it out, and just the fact that it doesn't have a spare, I had to bring extra lug nuts to fit the winter tire if something happens. And I don't even know if there's a jack in this car. I didn't check. I just got everything ready.
This is the thing. A tow truck driver has a jack.
That's
so
right.
You maybe have to wait for a tow truck driver, but you'll have the tire. So we don't need to put it on the flatbed. We can just get that sorted. So it can still be a 2-hour endeavor, but at least you're not going to a tire shop. You're just going home.
Yep. Yeah.
I think about that a lot.
No, I ultimately, you know, there are other vehicles that I would rather take on a road trip, but for entertainment factor, comfort, all things considered, in a performance enthusiast vehicle, this is just one of the best cars at doing everything while also remaining engaging. Usually, a car that tries to be a jack of all trades can be a little boring. That's not the case here. It's just fun all the time. It's super just raw and visceral, and it also does the comfort thing really well too. And that's the biggest thing that I've kind of learned after owning this Camaro and driving it, you know, taking my son to school in it, living in it with it on a daily basis, because we haven't done track day in this yet, except for the winter tire debauchery, you know, destruction test. And that was a lot of fun, but on a daily basis, it's just a great car to live with. It's comfortable, it's got all the features you want, it just does everything, which is kind of a surprise. I wasn't expecting it to be this nice. And everyone complains about the visibility, but
I got over it quick.
I get it over really fast. The only time it sucks is in heavy traffic.
Yeah,
you want to be looking around you all the time.
It's so not even apparent that I almost forgot to mention. There's 0 drum.
Yeah, no drum.
This is a silent V8 until you awaken it.
Yeah, you downshift.
It's amazing.
Cool. All right, well, we're going to end on that note. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.